picture of a plant that is not surviving well, and then I want you to find a picture of a plant that's kind of in the middle. It's kind of surviving and kind of not. So this is going to take some looking. You can't draw the tree. It's got to be a plant that's like smaller than you. What questions do you have about your task? You have 3 plants to draw. One that survives well, one that's not surviving well, and one that's kind of surviving well. All right, do it. Let's see what you come up with. You're gonna have to do some looking.
Daddy, I have a question about a plant that I think might not be surviving very well, but also surviving.
Okay, what is it? Oh, that's interesting. Let's see if I can. So what do you think that one is? Is it a surviving well and not surviving well, or kind of well?
Kind of well.
Okay, what makes you say that?
Because the leaves are drooping, but it's still super green.
Okay. So now maybe draw a picture of that and then label it with the kind of well.
That can be your in the middle.
Mm-hmm. What are you drawing, Link?
I'm thinking about because I know there used to be grass there. I was thinking about drawing that area beforehand, then drawing it after, and kind of like marking it as not surviving well.
Okay. That's interesting.
The grass that used to be
Okay.
there.
So,
Like I'll maybe put an X for not survive well.
yeah. So instead of doing that, because like if you think about it, like if you think about our yard as a total, I would say grass is surviving pretty well.
Okay.
It's just that one spot.
Yeah.
So see if you can find a plant that doesn't seem to be surviving well in the whole yard, not just in one spot. Cassie, what do you think about drawing?
I just don't know about where anything is because I've seen the whole garden.
Oh, I know. So what's an example of something that grows really well in our yard?
I'm gonna go look at something maybe.
Why don't you, let's figure this out together. What's something that grows really well in our yard? What do you see a lot of?
Hostas.
Okay.
A lot of big leaves.
Okay. How do you know that they're surviving well?
Because they're not brown or anything like that.
Okay.
And they're
So then why don't you start there? Start with your well, your surviving well picture, and draw a hosta. Hey, Cash. But you got to get moving because you only got so much time. What'd you find, Link?
So flowers in general are surviving really well.
Okay.
Like the
And so
fall
will you
flowers.
label that as well?
I made a check mark for well.
Oh, okay. Will you still just write it for me?
Okay.
maybe I'll look for something else. Maybe rather than a hosta.
Why?
Because I'm not sure how I should draw it.
What?
I don't have any ideas.
Well, that's what you have to make observations about. Like, what are some things you notice about the hosta that makes it seem like it survives well?
blooming flowers.
Okay. So make sure you include that in your drawing. What? Yep. Yeah. Do you think it's surviving well or not so well?
I'm mostly looking at the brown ones, so they're not so well.
Yeah, because there's some that seem to be doing well, and some that are not so well. Because like this plant here, and this and this plant are the same. The same kind of plant. And so what do you think? Well and not so well, or not well?
I'm gonna just go some dead ones. Not so well.
Oh, okay.
There's a different.
So what are some things you notice about it that makes you think not so well?
It's round. They kind of droopy.
Okay. And so what is this of?
Pasta.
Oh, okay. And so when you draw your not well, Mabel, make sure you include some of those details so that people know that why you notice that it doesn't survive very well.
There's some green leaves, but the flowers are dead.
Okay. What are you drawing, Link?
I'm drawing these for my not so well.
Okay, why?
I noticed that there are dead ones and alive ones.
Okay.
And there's a good amount of each.
Okay, so is that your middle or your not well?
It's my middle.
Okay.
My not well is weeds.
Okay, like show me an example of a weed that's
Okay.
not growing well.
There are.
So what makes you think that that's not well?
It's not growing well because we're just pulling out all the weeds.
Ah, okay.
So, I mean, if we let it grow, it would grow really well.
Right.
But it's not growing well because we're pulling it out and stuff.
Okay. So, what about these grasses down here?
Oh yeah, those aren't growing very well.
Right, and those have been there for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what do you notice about them that makes you think they're not growing very well?
They're so tiny.
Okay. So maybe you want to draw those in your not well category too.
Yeah.
Because like you said, the weeds, like if we weren't pulling them, they'd actually grow really well.
So
But we're not pulling those grasses.
I'll just go.
What you drawing, Kesh?
The high stuff.
Okay.
I'm starting with the leaves.
Yeah. And you don't have to draw all of it. You could always just draw a few, just like part of the plant or something. Keep it up. If you get one in each category, I want you to look for a second one in each category.
I'm on my,
If you already have a second one.
Then go on to the other two categories. And then when you get done with two in each category, go to three.
Okay.
You gotta pick up the pace a little bit, buddy. Come on.
so out.
What are you gonna use that plant up there for your middle? Why don't you head up there and draw it?
Whoa.
Careful. What are you finding now?
Okay, so I have. Just a sec. Okay, so I instead of just all flowers, I said most flowers because my not so well